Welcome everyone to this week's Fish Friday video. We are on Fish Friday number 7. Wow. Or has it been 7? Fish Friday number 7. It does not feel like that. These have been flying by. Today we are going to be talking about one of the most interesting fish in my state, in my opinion. This is a prehistoric dinosaur. We kind of said the same thing about gar, and this is related to gar in a slight way. It is an ancient fish. But the fish I am talking about is this one, the bowfin, or Amia calva, as if you are interested in the scientific name. So, Amia calva, or the bowfin, is a bony fish that, like I said, is related to gar. One of the most interesting things about this is the last surviving species of Ameiformes. Ameiformes was a very widespread family of fish, but this species right here is the last one of that family. All the rest have died out. They are in the fossil record. So it's really unique. These are a demersal fish, and you can tell that. And well, first off, I guess I should say what a demersal fish is. Demersal fish are your fish that spend a lot of time on the bottom. So your catfish, things like that. And you can tell because you can see how flat the belly is. Even though these are very round fish, you can tell that it's pretty flat. These are piscivorous, meaning that they eat mainly fish. However, they will eat crawfish, mollusks, and aquatic invertebrates, especially when they are younger. But once they get older, they transition into more just piscivory, so eating other fish. Just like the gar, these do breathe both water and air. Not only can they take water and air across their gills, these also actually have a highly vascularized gas bladder. A lot of fish have gas bladders or swim bladders, but this one actually has a gas bladder that basically acts like a lung. You can think this is how the lungfish stay alive. These live in swamps and vegetated sloughs. Because of the fact that they can breathe air, they can survive in really anoxic condition, very low oxygen. And swamps are usually very low in oxygen. Yes, these are similar to a snakehead. A lot of people have said these are the American version of the snakehead. But there are some differences in there. So they average about 50 centimeters or 20 inches or so, but there are records of them getting up to 109 centimeters or 43 inches, weighing as much as 9.75 kilograms or 21.5 pounds. Just like in most other fish, females are larger than males. Most fish, your females are larger than males because the larger the female, the more eggs they can produce. As you can see, these fish are extremely elongated and cylindrical. Kind of cigar thinking. If we go back to the other picture, you can see a lot of times they have this eye spot at the tail fin. It's really pronounced when they are younger, but you'll see this eye spot a couple of times. The name bowfin comes from this extremely long dorsal fin. Very, very long dorsal fin. Something else that you know, they have a bony gular plate, meaning that they have a bony plate covering their throat. These are stalking or ambush predators. So they will move very slowly, just stalking around, seeing what they can find. If you can see these teeth, they have teeth that are made for gripping and grabbing, especially fish. That's where you get these teeth structures. And their body allows them to accelerate at extremely fast speeds. In fact, there has been some documented that the attack is so swift that the entire attack, this fish going after another fish, lasts approximately 0.075 seconds. And that is not an exaggeration, that is an actual estimation. But that is the estimated time from when a bowfin tries to attack and either gets its fish or doesn't. Basically, huge burst of speed and then back to just creeping around. These fish used to be hated by locals. Locals were just not a fan of these. They were seen as a trash fish, a bony fish. They were known to not have much taste to them. But these are actually now seen by scientists as important. In the past, people did not want to catch these when they went fishing. However, nowadays they are actually sought after by a small fishing community. People enjoy fishing. They fight heavily. Another thing is they have actually gotten a small bit of a following for aquarium trade. I would not recommend these in an aquarium trade because these are real bony headed and they have been known to just ram the glass and break it. So you have to have a extremely thick glass, be extremely prepared for an overly aggressive fish. These are hunters. They do not like being with other fish, so you put anything in there, expect it to be eaten. They do have a variation on colors. As you can see, you have this brown kind of modeling in here. They can get to this gray-green, hiding in those vegetation that they really enjoy. Here is a baby bowfin, and you can see that spot is just bright when they are young. So once again, the teeth, and I don't know if you notice here they actually have these tubular nostrils. So those tubular nostrils can serve for multiple purposes. It allows them to take in things and smell around. They can sift in the mud, because remember, these live normally in heavily mudded environments, the swamps, things like that. So they can use that to search for scavengers. They're a little more opportunistic than previously thought. Something that is different from these than most other your living fossils, your dinosaurs, these actually have ctenoid scales, meaning these are much more your normal looking scales. Most of your other ancient fish, your gar, your sturgeon, things like that, they are either going to have no scales or they're going to have very bony scales or bony plates. The gar have those big ganoid scales. The sturgeon just has bony plates that cover it. These are, in the same time frame as those fish, but these actually did develop into the ctenoid scales. So they do have some scales, just not like any of the others. Most of your others, your sharks are your primitive fish. They just don't have scales. They have, I can't remember what the little hooks are called, and I'm sorry. So, do we have any other questions? We'll give chat here a little bit of time if they have any question about this fish. If not, we'll do a sign off. Okay. What does it taste like? I've honestly, it's a very, if you take the time to clean it properly, it tastes just like many other fish. If you don't take the time to kind of flush it out and clean it, it does kind of taste muddy. Look where it lives, but you can easily just clean it out. And to get it kind of like that kind of catfish flavor, but not, it's different. It's a little more bland, so it does require a lot of seasoning, but I don't think it's terrible. If that gives you anything. You can't do too much in the head. Is it dangerous to people? It can, especially when they are if they're trying to hold it by the mouth, they can get bit. These are extremely strong, but they're not going to cause, even a bite from these is not going to severely damage you. People used to think they did. Of course, there's always those stories of them doing it, but these teeth are pretty small. You know, they're mainly meant to just grab onto a fish and swallow it whole. So there's not really any chance of it being danger other than a bite, maybe, you know, a slap in the face sort of thing. But look at where these fish live, you know, and if it does bite you and if you get bit in a swamp, you have a higher chance of infection, things like that. But I wouldn't say that these are directly dangerous to people. Especially if you're like this person here, you know, he is holding it from the bottom and probably has his finger inside the gill slit. That's perfectly fine. If it starts thrashing and you start grabbing, it can there. No, the scales are not sharp. These scales are closer to kind of what you might think that a salmon has. They feel soft. The scales almost feel like skin. They don't feel like normal scales until you rub it across. So kind of your softer scales. The fin is really neat. This long dorsal fin is incredible. It's one of the longest dorsal fins in the fish world. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you do, I would really appreciate it. Please leave a comment if you want to see a fish. Don't forget, next week will be a saltwater fish, and Mrs. Ping has one picked out for us. So I got to do that. Hopefully we feel better, but thank you guys again. Please be safe. Please take care of your loved ones. Take care of yourself, and peace.